lot of people in the ancient world, the sun was not just an astrological phenomenon, he was one of their main gods. In India, this heliocentric worship manifested itself in some of her most amazing sculptural feats. This here is the world-famous Sun Temple of Konark. In the days of old, this temple, which is a chariot of the sun god, served as a major landmark for sailors navigating the seas in this part of the world. So what amazing celebration of India are we showing you this time? Ramchandi Beach? Okay. For that, you just have to stay on the edge of your seat till we find our place. Excuse me, आपको सर्फ फेस्टिवल कहाँ होता है पता है? आगे से राइट. Okay, thank you.
I've finally reached my destination, a lovely stretch of beach about halfway between the two temple towns of Puri and Konark. It is Valentine's Day weekend, but I'm all alone on a groovy beach. Doing exactly what? Well, I'm not celebrating the day of love, but I'm here to get you a taste of a unique sport that has quietly made its way into coastal India. And this I'm going to do through a festival that not only celebrates the sport, but also celebrates the art, music and dance of India's young and restless. They have come from all over the country for a 3-day celebration. And it goes by the name of India Surf Festival 2014. Now, surfboarding isn't exactly cricket, by which I mean Indians are not head over heels in love with it. In fact, if we purely go by the numbers, there are less than 200 serious surfers in India. So I'm curious about what really makes a festival such as this tick. And the best person to answer my questions is Sanjay Samantre, the organizer of India Surf Festival.
Sanjay Samantre is one of the forces behind this India Surf Festival that started 3 years back. He feels very passionately about the sport and he wants to make it as popular as it can be in India. Sanjay, tell me, what was the idea behind starting this festival?
Yeah, I was living on the beach and there were many surfers coming there and we didn't have surfboard, even one surfboard with us.
Where was this?
That was 2001.
Okay.
So we got collected one board at least so that we can showcase our satisfaction, but we are not satisfied by that time. We wanted to say that, man, this must go on because we have 7,800 kilometers of water in India.
Coastline, yes.
Like a huge coastline. And this is a non-pollutant sport. So I knew that this is not working because the Indians are not wave friendly. So we thought of working that we have a friendly way of bringing people together and talk about surf. And there was no surfers in India. So we sent and we tried to find out on the internet how many surfers there can be. We found in 100 million people there are 32. I said, okay, we put some art, some music, and make it a little better. So we invited our foreign friends who are surfers, and we bring the Indian guys, and first time we met, and that was ISF.
Sanjay started surfing yogi as an experiment of bringing the best of the East and the West together. Our capacity to transcend the body and their capacity to push the limits of physical fitness. But Sanjay is not the lone operator on India's 7,500 kilometer long coastline. Others too have started surf clubs. Andy, who has come from Visakhapatnam, calls his Lonely Surfers Surf Club.
Because I started surfing 7 years back, and from that time till now I was able to teach many people, but I'm the only one in the water every day. The surfing is just still growing. It's only 5 years old in India. Like the surfing started growing up from past 5 years. So it took US to become what it is now. It took 100 years. Like in 1903, Yu Kahanamoku came from Hawaii to California. That's when, like, that's the first surfer who came, like, you know. So now US is somewhere, like, you know, it's having its own championships, it's having its own federations and everything. So India will grow up one fine day, but it will take much faster than what US took.
His friend Hari was an engineering student when he first found himself getting drawn to the sport.
I always dreamt about being a surfer, and then I didn't know that something is happening in Visakhapatnam. It was just I was completing my first year, and then I always loved the beach. That is how I got connected. When I have exams and all, I keep studying in the beach with the elements. Like I feel the wind and the sea. It makes my mind much peace. So I always wanted to find a way to get connected to ocean. That's how I have seen some people whose name is Sebastian. He's from Reunion Island, Melville Smythe, and a few local fisherman kids, and Anudip. So they all were surfing. I met these guys, and one day when I was walking in beach, I see them riding waves. Mostly, surfing was new to Visakhapatnam, which was brought by Sebastian. So I see this guy surfing in waves. Then I waited for them. I thought that I found a way to learn surfing.
You may think surfing is a sport of the elite, but you'd be surprised at how many of India's surfers come from the fishing communities of the coastal regions. Murthy started his club in Tamil Nadu after he got hooked to riding the waves.
What brought you into this surfing, the sport of surfing?
I'm starting before, you know, everyone, my village fishermen, everyone, you know, wooden broken window. Like now, everyone a window like a glass. Long year, you know, like 50 years before, so make a wooden window. That window broke. That broken window, I tried to like a boogie board model on the waves. There are some people surfing on the beach. That's new things.
Right.
Suddenly I asked,
interested.
yeah, I'm very interested. Suddenly I asked, give the boat. No teaching that people. Just I take boat, I go to the water, paddling, I stand up. That's all. That is, sea is very close. You know, I'm a fisherman. Everybody fisherman. Surfing, changing lot of my life. Lot of, you know, my stylish, my language. You know, I'm only 6th standard, but I'm talking English.
Okay.
My
you
language.
only studied till class
6th standard. My language and traveling. I met many people, many good people, many media people, and helping for the education. You know, me, like a normal man, I'm helping for education tough. But now I'm running the surf school. I'm helping for education.
Murthy teaches me some of the basics required to keep the boards in fighting condition.
This is a surfboard. Okay, surfboard. This is a front position. So, you know, surfers making speed. Some tricks, you know, cut back on a floater, aerial. So I need a wax. Wax is very important. Okay. Once a base coat, before I'll put it in. Now it's a grip wax, like this.
Okay, so
Like
by
bubbles.
rubbing it like this,
Yeah, like
you're
this.
coating it with wax, right?
Yeah.
Why has this portion become slow? It's like
Yeah,
very,
this is for good, you know, good gripness.
Oh, okay, it gives good grip
Yeah.
on the water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this. This wax from Australia.
Okay.
It's imported.
Wow.
We try to.
And it's used only on surfboards, nothing else.
Yeah, only surfboard. Good smell.
Good smell.
You give the kids will be eating, you know, like chocolate.
Right.
But only for board, surfboard using.
He's doing something else with it.
Yeah,
What
this
that?
is for comb. You know, like once put it in wax, some
This is like a
some
comb.
lineup.
This is like a comb. It
Yeah.
has serrations on the edge.
Yeah, grip lineup.
grip lineup.
Okay.
Put in wax, then like this. That's only good gripness.
Okay. It's like a tire.
Yeah,
Which has been threaded
yeah.
nicely.
Funny as it may sound, a piece of wax can actually help you from slipping and falling into the sea. But the world of surfing has many such paradoxes. For example, what has today become a sport of rich Western nations actually started out as a pastime of early Polynesian societies.
As a sport, surfing is really not that new. Polynesians, or the islanders of the South and Central Pacific Ocean, were known to surf as far back as the 1700s. But it could have been older than that, as European sailors traveling to Tahiti described this amazing, unique native sport that the locals could have been playing, well, for thousands of years.
During the course of my stay at the ISF, I unlearned many of my long-held notions about surfing. And one of them is how Indian surfing is actually yoga in disguise. Yes, you heard it right. Yoga can actually help us surf better. So I quietly sneak into a group that is doing yoga on the beach. The instructor here has an interesting story of her own. She started learning when her doctor in Barcelona suggested to her she start yoga lessons after a serious stomach infection.
Yoga is about the connection. Yoga is about feeling where you are and what you have to do in every moment. I think for the surfer it's good to be part of the sea, to feel the air, to feel the wave. Cannot be in himself, has to be in the water and move with the water. So yoga as an idea, it helps you on that.
At the Surf Festival, trainers showcase how yoga can also be done on water. It's something even I haven't seen or heard about. But it's an impressive sight, and I'm sure this is truly the contribution of this festival to both the world of yoga as well as to surfing. Sanjay explains to me how a connection between yoga and surfing can be made.
And we tell everybody, look, there is a mind management. You are 80% water. I'm not Sanjay.
Yeah.
You are not Dhiraj. You are 80% water bag going to another water body through a boat.
Wow.
So stand on it. So if you can stand on it today, you are ready to surf. Wherever you go, hire a boat, get practice, you can be a surfer. So nobody can make you a surfer.
Many surfers actually try to blur the lines between the solid and the fluid, as they try to make their bodies become one with the sea. And in doing so, many consider themselves to be artists more than purely sports people. Art is in fact a big part of the India Surf Festival. Harshvardhan is a street artist from Mumbai who has been coming to the ISF since it started in 2012. This time, he decided to make a sand mural that tells the story of the cosmic ocean and its journey.
This is a story of Samudra Manthan, where gods and demons were basically fighting for the magic potion, the elixir, Amrut as we popularly call it. And during their fight, they were churning the entire ocean because it was said that the elixir was at the bottom of the ocean. So they were just churning the ocean. And from there came this beautiful Apsara with a flask in her hand which was filled with elixir. So Mohini was her name, and I'm trying to draw the same thing. So she will eventually get washed away when the tide rises.
There is also another kind of sand art that the beaches of Odisha are famous for.
ये आइडिया आपको कहाँ से आया कि सैंड को, क्योंकि बच्चे जब खेलते हैं तो बनाते हैं, ठीक है, लेकिन उसको आर्ट फॉर्म का दर्जा देने का आइडिया कहाँ से आया?
मैं आर्टिस्ट फैमिली का है, मेरे पास आर्ट फॉर्म पहले से ही था। मैं रियाज करता था, तब 17 इयर्स मेरे को हुआ था। जब रेत में कुछ लोग बनाते रहे, खिलते रहे, इस चीज़ में मेरा आइडिया आ चुका था। लेकिन मैं इसके ऊपर रिसर्च करना चाहता था और आगे बढ़ाना चाहता था। तब कम से कम आज से 30 इयर्स पहले मैंने सोचा था पहले कि इसी काम को आगे और बढ़ाए, बहुत सारे लोग आए, इसको कुछ काम के वास्ते रिकॉग्नाइज मिले। यही बात सोचते हुए मैं 14 इयर्स सी बीच के ऊपर एवरीडे बनाते रहे। हर रोज़ मेरा रियाज का टाइम था 2 आवर्स एवरीडे। ऐसा भी कोई दिन नहीं था जो शरीर खराब हो जाने से हम उसको क्लोज करता था, बंद
लेकिन
करता
एक
था।
आप बात बताइए, एक आर्ट फॉर्म होता है, उसको आप बना के रख सकते हैं सालों तक, लेकिन ये इसका बहुत जो समय है बहुत कम समय तक रहता है, आज है कल नहीं है।
देखिए, जब हमारा दिमाग में उसका प्रिजर्वेशन का वैल्यू आता है ना, तब ये नहीं रहता, क्योंकि सैंड आर्ट का डेफिनेशन वही है। मतलब वो गिरा हुआ, फटा हुआ, धसे हुआ, उसका नेचर को लेकर हम लोग काम करेंगे।
The sun and sand also inspires artists who use paint and ink in their work. Priyesh Trivedi has come from Mumbai for the Surf Festival and finds much in the vibes of the place to make him attempt a canvas size he's never done before.
Tell me what has inspired you to make this painting over here?
Well, since I'm like at a surf festival, so I wanted to make sure that I depict the ocean life like in my art. So this is a shell and it's suspended in space, but the stars, they also act like they are shaped like and they are arranged like planktons. So it can be like the universe, or it can be a microcosm of the same thing, like in the form of oceanic life. And like this is still like work in progress, and I still have to work on it. But it's a shell which is like melting, and there are like jellyfish coming out of it, and they're like swirling around.
And they're all glowing in the dark.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the sea has started working its pull on me, and I decide to try out walking on water. Alright, I know it may sound miraculous, but it's actually the first step towards going the full hog. That is, riding a full-fledged wave.
This is as close to surfing as an amateur like me can get in a few days. It's called walking on water, and it's supposed to get you acquainted with the feel of water, how the water feels under your feet. And you basically have to balance yourself on this board and try not to fall off. So I'm going to see how well I fare in this sport of walking on water.
The professionals, however, don't merely walk on water. They race on it. And it really helps if Ravana himself is in the audience, watching the race with all his 10 heads and 20 eyes. The Surf Festival happens once a year during the full moon of the second month. There is, of course, that moon connection with the waves, but there's another aesthetic aspect in aligning the dates with the full moon, especially as evenings are dedicated to the art of making music, as all sea activities have stopped. Monty Manuel is the man behind a band called Talavattam, which in Malayalam means circle of rhythm. And his specialty is making music from stuff that has been junked. Monty, who's based in Bengaluru, collects stuff from junkyards and turns them into musical instruments.
I just thought being an artist, a musician, we need to do something from our side, and an art form is the best medium to get into this crowd and convey the message, saying, you know, reuse, reduce, or reclaim. That's what Talavattam trying to do.
So how do you find these instruments that you sort of ultimately pick and choose and use in part of your collection? How do you look for them? What kind of instruments you're looking for?
The thing is, when I play drums, the same sound anyone can produce, almost the same sound, you know. But I go collect, or I do shopping from junkyards, and I'll pick up random stuff and, you know, put it together, and whatever sound comes from this junk drums, I started using it as my music, as my sound, and give a little bit of electronic touch into it, and I create my own custom sound.
As the music rises with the full moon, some of us turn indoors to watch another amazing aspect of Odisha culture. This unique dance form is known as Gotipua. On the face of it, it looks like any other Indian classical dance. But if you look closely, chances are that you'd see that the dancers are young boys dressed up as girls, and not, as one would think, young girls doing the routine. Gotipua is a rigorous and almost acrobatic dance form, which is perhaps why boys are trained in it from a very young age.
One of the ideas behind this festival is for everyone to try and overcome his or her fear. And since I'm afraid of heights, I'm going to go up this watchtower and see how I'm feeling. I did it! Yay!
The pristine beach here is known as the Ramachandi Beach, as it is close to the famous Ramachandi temple. It provides some of the best surfing conditions in India. The waters of the Bay of Bengal are perhaps the bluest here. And for me, that's a thoroughly inviting prospect to become one with the sea. Well, almost. For the most seasoned participants of the India Surf Festival, this is a good time to take on the waves. As I'm still a few lessons away from being a full-scale surfer, I put my teeny-weeny camera on the tip of a surfboard. And the results, as you can see, are mind-boggling. I know it's a vicarious way of riding the waves, but it will have to do for now. As Santam, who's the surfer bearing my camera, returns to the beach, I quickly grab him to find out how the experience has been for him.
Were you scared in the beginning when you started surfing?
Yes, when I'm starting surfing, I'm scared.
Then how did you overcome your fear?
I do surf, then nose coming scared.
What is it about surfing? How do you feel when you're there on the wave, riding the wave?
I love surf very much.
Yeah, but what do you feel when you're surfing?
When I do surf, I feel very happy. I'm feeling very happy.
Can you compare it? I don't know what surfing is like, so tell me how you feel. Because can you compare it to something? Surfing is like eating chocolate. Surfing is like eating laddu.
Surfing is my girlfriend.
Surfing is your girlfriend.
Yes.
Great, great, great. Thank you. All the best.
The high-velocity winds here also provide for other surf-related sports. This one's called kite surfing, and it uses the power of the wind to take the surfer from point A to point B in a matter of seconds. Unlike traditional surfing, this has its pluses, as one can simply lift off the ground and literally hop on and hop off from land to water and vice versa.
The sport has grown really well in the sense that now we have a lot of different kites, different sizes, different shapes. Even in really light wind kites, we can use much bigger kites. When the wind is much stronger, certain places in the world it gets really strong, our kite size can go much smaller.
And what's the risk involved in doing this?
There's a risk as in any sport. It's actually quite safe. You know, things can go wrong, as they do. The equipment's become really, really safe now. You do need to just take lessons and know and understand the wind. If you understand the wind, it's perfectly safe.
I also come face to face with another flying object that I don't have a name for, but it surely has the attention of everybody on the beach. Needless to say, with great technology comes greater responsibility. As for me, it is suffice to say that being here has taught me how to be in touch with nature, to respect her, and to never forget that whatever we'll do, we'll always remain a part of her, and never the other way around.
Those living in the inland parts of India rarely get a taste of what life can be like on the coast. They know about the fun they can have in the sun and sand, but rarely get acquainted with the real life in these parts. Take, for example, the devastation like this that was caused by the cyclone Phylin that hit the area a few months ago. So it is festivals like these that bring back a semblance of normalcy and happiness back to the area.